Welcome back, everyone, to the Coach Approach. It's your Coach Blake of the Black Faker, coach of 8 years. Going to be watching why Dragons loses you countless games. I don't know about you, but it's usually my teammates. Anyway, we're going to be looking at is this clickbait video. If you guys would like a coaching session, make sure you go to coachblaker.com. But without further ado, let's get off into it. What is, I always do this.
Hey guys, so the title of this video might have you asking, what? How are dragons bad? And that's a pretty fair question that we're going to have to address in this video.
Pretty fair, pretty fair.
One of the absolute biggest mistakes that low elo junglers make is simply overvaluing objectives, and more specifically, overvaluing an immediate reward instead of a good game state. I can't begin to explain how many times players in low elo have spam pinged me during my Smurf commentaries and flame me for choosing to ignore Dragon when they think that it's free. We of course will still go on to win the game regardless of this fact, and it's because Dragon just always isn't the best thing to do. And before you start typing up a comment saying about how we always talk about doing objectives, there is a lot of nuance in League of Legends, and that's what we're going to show. Let's get right into it. To start, let's just...
So I will say there is such thing as free, but it's kind of rare. Like, it happens, it's not going to be staring you in the face all the time. There's just, usually when it happens you have a lead, but there are times where you can get free things literally for free, whether you're expending resources, mana, whatever. Usually it's free because certain circumstances, and that's why it's kind of hard to make a specific do this all the time type of video, because there's so many things that happen in League. It's very hard to be like, hey, do this all the time. Make sure you, like, you know, it's very, I mean, he even said there's a lot of nuances in League, and it's cool that he says that, but once again, it's just kind of like the cover up thing that we talked about last time, where it's like, I'll say this, but I'll cover my butt just in case, you know what I mean? So but I do agree so far, so let's see.
Talk about how we should view League of Legends. At its core, it's a game of resource management.
Also, I will say different champions have different objectives, whether it's jungle, well, I mean, this, oh, it's not even a jungle video. Well, I'm sure this is targeted towards all roles, so we're just going to talk like it is. I will say different champions have different objectives of what they want to do. Some do want to do Dragon because it causes team fights. Some do want to do this because it causes that, whereas some people don't want to do anything because they don't want to fight. So everyone has their kind of different aspect. Obviously 5 versus 5 or 4 versus 4, 3 versus 3, whatever the scenario will be around Dragon or Rift, you got to make sure you're able to win it. So I will say that it just depends on the state of your champ, the state of the game, the state of the compositions, or the champions that are going to be involved in that altercation.
And decision making. You spend resources of some kind to get some kind of result. Let's just go back to basic math and simplify this by just saying X equals Y. X is whatever resource we're willing to spend to get some kind of result. Nothing in League is truly ever free, because you're giving up the opportunity to do something else in exchange. I essentially spend my time, map positioning, or abilities and cooldowns to receive a dragon. I could, however, choose to spend my time on something else to get a different reward. So now we need to figure out, how do we choose between the two? Well, what does Dragon actually do for us? Mostly it gives us a pretty irrelevant buff on its own, but gets us closer to Soul.
I will say that depending on the state of the lanes, if you have heavy trade lanes, Ocean Dragon is definitely a good play. Now, all these dragons benefit different champs in a certain way. There are, especially if the game's not going to end, obviously, like, scaling dragons just don't do much for you. But Ocean Dragon, I believe, does a decent amount for you, and then so does Cloud Dragon early. Like, those are some 2 early game, like, dragons I would probably try to take. Like I said, giving the state. Like, if I know there's a champ like Nocturne on my team, I'm going to try to get that Dragon of Cloud. If I know that there's like a heavy trade lane, like, I don't know, Riven and Irelia top, I'm going to try to get that Ocean Soul or Ocean Dragon. So it really just depends. The other 2, though, those are more of like a scaling drag. So you might not have to put as much emphasis on those 2 if you depending on like the state of the game, because like I said, it's really just depending on how the game's going to scale.
However, it doesn't really help us secure the next couple of dragons we need for it to actually make an impact.
That's true.
And if we don't even need the Dragon Soul to win the game, what's really the...
That's exactly what I said. Like, I mean, the Inferno and Mountain, like, even if they get it, if you could end the game, like, it doesn't really matter. And even if they do get Soul, it doesn't mean that the game's over. If they get Elder, the game's probably over, though.
Well, denying it from the enemy can be good, but when you have so much control of the game that also doesn't matter, you really shouldn't care about Dragon. In this particular game, my individual lead is so much more important when trying to convert the game to a win. If I can fight the enemy jungler and 1v1 anyone on the enemy team, future Dragon opportunities as well as teamfights and skirmishes are all going to be so much easier.
Well, that really shouldn't be his thought process. His thought process should be, well, Ahri has no mana, Lux is backing, we can't really do anything right now. That would be the optimal process. Because the thing is, you're not going to ever be in this situation, and if you don't play a champ that can kill the other jungler, well, it doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter to you, does it? I always stutter because I always get excited when I'm trying to teach people. But, yeah, you might not be a Kha'Zix player. And so which case, how does this apply to me? Well, maybe I play Sejuani. Like, so the thing that you would really be focusing on right now is, do we need to have a fight? How fast can I take this dragon? Do I need to have my team rotate? Just little stuff like that, right? If you know you win a 4v4, 3v3, I would definitely be calling drags because that will lead us to better things. Not only will it lead us to counter jungling, which is what he's doing right now, but it'll also lead us into maybe being able to take some plates. If you hear what he says, I think he said it.
Care about Dragon. In this particular game, my individual lead is so much more important when trying to convert the game to a win.
Okay.
If I can fight the enemy jungler and 1v1 anyone on the enemy team, future Dragon opportunities as well as teamfights and skirmishes are all going to be so much easier.
He pretty much just said it, right? So when he gets to the point where he wants to set up those like skirmishes, that's when you'd be calling Dragon. So like I said, this is a hard video to make because it doesn't apply to just one champ. It would apply to every champ and every role in the game, and it's not being explained like that. So
at the time where my team really wanted to do Dragon, I risked potentially giving up my top lane advantage due to Hecarim having a free gank, my entire top side, access to counter jungling Hecarim's bot side, as well as just general pacing on my own camps.
Depending on how you're pathing, that wouldn't be a problem. Let's go back real quick. So for some reason, we skipped all of our camps to go to the enemy side. He just said, I have a lead. I'm 3-0, and I'm smurfing. When you're smurfing, you tend to do a lot of things that you just wouldn't do in high elo. I don't know if this is even a high elo player. I'm just saying, I'm going based off of what he's saying. Maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe you guys know who he is. But there's a lot of stuff that you'll do in low elo that you won't do in high elo. For instance, I'm invading when my supporter's backing, my mid laner has no mana, and my ADC needs to back as well. So we're going to have set full HP pretty much, no mana. We're going to have Hecarim that's actually could be around because if his Raptors are up, he should be pathing up. It's random that he'd be pathing down, considering that he just said, well, I'll give up my top camps. You know, he should be pathing up. I don't know why the Hecarim would be pathing down. I don't have enough information to really see that, other than like maybe he's trying to juke out Kha'Zix. And then also like the fact that the bot lane's coming. So it's not really going to be a 1v1 if this was high elo, because I guarantee this would be warded, and I also guarantee that the support would be checking. So continue.
Fights and skirmishes are
This is why you don't make videos when you're smurfing. All I'm going to say.
all going to be so much easier. At the time where my team really wanted to do Dragon, I risked potentially giving up my top lane advantage due to Hecarim having a free gank, my entire top side, access to counter jungling Hecarim's bot side, as well as just general pacing on my own camps. Giving up access to potentially all of these things for a really mediocre buff just doesn't sound that great. I wouldn't have been able to hit 6 by taking away the enemy Raptors, blow Set's flash, make it in time to counter the top gank, blow the enemy teleport, and, well, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this.
I don't even know why Set flash, considering Ahri has no mana.
In time to counter the top
What are you flashing for?
gank.
Bro, just E him real quick and then run away. He's not gonna one tap. That's so strange. I mean, he does a lot of damage there for some reason or another. Maybe Set didn't back. I don't have any information on anything.
Taking away the enemy Raptors,
So
blow Set's flash, make it in time to counter the top gank, blow the enemy teleport.
yeah, you see his HP? Dude was not gonna die.
Blow Set's flash.
Let me try to do it slow.
Make it in time to counter the top.
So he goes in, he jumps, lands his Q, right? Yeah, he lands his Q.
Blow the
Yeah, he has nothing left but W. How on earth is this guy one level ahead and is gonna die to a level 6 Kha'Zix? After he just... How? Right? It makes no sense. This is anyway. Let's continue.
The enemy teleport, and well, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with it.
He wasted so much time taking raptors into going mid to a jungler with no mana and then going into top. That's so much time wasted.
The game could have gotten really out of hand in this sequence here if I didn't have the individual lead or the positioning on the map that I did. Had something gone wrong here, I would have lost access to future dragons.
So all he did was take raptors, walk straight up, get not a single red buff. So essentially we took raptors and just walked to top when we could have taken raptors, or I mean could have taken dragon, notice Hecarim top with that gank, and then still all his bot side. So that'd be 3 camps, and you only lose 1 plus a drag. So even in this situation, drag would have been fine anyway. I don't know.
Dragons anyways, and I value having the control over the map.
This only works because I don't even think he gets killed.
Much more than the immediate dragon. Even the
I was gonna say what? That should not have worked.
play that happens after all of this would have been impossible because I surely would have passed away from bot after the dragon had I done it.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have done dragon, stole his camps, possibly recalled, and then start pathing down bottom. What?
I get a free double, and now makes the most sense to take Drake. The game has...
He's pretty much doing the same thing he just said he didn't want to do. I'm not going to be top for counter gank. You didn't do anything to the gank. I'm not going to get my top camps. You definitely didn't. I'm missing opportunity to counter jungle. You definitely are. He's doing the exact same thing that he would have done before. I love this game. This game's hilarious.
Stabilized to a point where I don't risk giving up plays across the whole map.
I mean, you do? No? Right now you could be invading, looking for the 1v1 to have you have such a big lead, as we said before. We could have possibly had a gank on set. We could have possibly gone to try to get Rift Herald. Maybe you could have counter jungle top. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done on this game. And as he said, there's no such thing as free. Therefore, he is giving up something, even though he just said, I'm not giving up anything. What? What? Okay.
And I'm strong enough that it doesn't take as much time to do as it would have before. This dragon ends up being
This man's wild. Hold on. Let me see how long that drag actually took.
The game has stabilized to a point where I don't risk giving up plays across the whole map. And I'm strong enough that it doesn't take as much time to do as it would have before.
So about 20 seconds. I'll give a bit of the doubt. 17 seconds. 17 to 18 seconds to do the dragon. He has the same exact items that he had before. He's just 1 level ahead. It would have taken the same... Ah! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scream. Sometimes... Let's just get on with this video. Why y'all request this, by the way? A student requested this. I'm just throwing that out there.
The whole map. And I'm strong enough that it doesn't take as much time to do as it would have before. This dragon ends up being completely inconsequential anyways, considering that the game ends at 16 minutes and I'm massively ahead because I prioritize that lead instead of the...
You're massively ahead because you're smurfing, bro.
Objective.
This is... Like, to have a smurf say something like that is degrading. I have never made a video. I think I made 1 video with me smurfing, but I've always said, I'm smurfing, I'm smurfing, I'm smurfing, I'm smurfing. But... I don't think I've made 1 video with smurfing. I think I've always just used my main. But when I'm streaming, I will always say I'm smurfing. I'm like, oh, this only worked because I'm smurfing. Or, oh, this game we only won because I'm smurfing. Like, the fact that he just said, we closed this game out in 16 because I got a massive lead. Bro, you're smurfing. Regardless of what you do wrong, you should be able to make it win anyway. That's why like, people smurf to chill. Nobody just smurfs and tryhards usually. I mean, unless they're in, Smurf queue, of course. I don't know if this is in Smurf queue. I guess we could check. Regular. Nope, this account's not a Smurf. Wait. What? How are we level 256 and this is a... How are we... What? 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 How? What? No way. I have to have spelled it wrong. Maybe that's an I? No. Let's go to Skillshank. Oh, we're gonna be doing some digging here. All right, we need to look for the Kha'Zix game. Or not a Kha'Zix. We need to look for a Hecarim. Well, I guess Kha'Zix would be it too. You know what? We could just make this easy. Let's just do this. We'll just open up all the games. Oh wait, let's go to ranked. We'll filter ranked. Let's go to all the games. If this is it, I'm just gonna quit the review here, or not the review, but the video here, because we're already red flags just like everywhere, and we're not even like what 5 minutes in. And he said it's a 16 minutes. Actually, I could just do that. 1-6. 16 minutes. If we have a game that's 16 minutes in, that's a dub. That's what we're looking for. I'm so smart. Well, let's see. He said it was 16.
This level
we're just gonna kind of go.
Truly free thing. There are good times and reasons you want to do Dragon, Soul, and absolutely. But is it even that? Watch more of an insurance policy if you can't close out levels ahead, and definitely have it now to keep pressure and tempo in their level.
Okay, so he's two levels ahead of Warwick just because Warwick clears like ass. Like, excuse my French, bro. This guy is just, and why are all his videos seem so BSy lately? Like, I was kind of on board with what he was saying, and I was pretty much like, okay, no, I feel it, and then we look at the accounts and we start paying attention to more of what he's saying. It's like, what's happening here? Yeah, it is not looking like this game was from this season. Anyway, thank you for using this video or suggesting this video to me. I appreciate it. I just say it's an F. It doesn't really make sense to me. There's too many factors. There's a lot of BSing here. Like, you should not smurf if you're making a guide video. That just makes no sense. Like, if you're smurfing to get, it's hard because yeah, you can use the excuse, well, if you're not smurfing, your teammates are smarter. That's not really true, but you might not have the same struggles unless you are smurfing. But still indicate that the fact that our initial state was we won this game because of XYZ instead of just saying I'm smurfing, like, that's ridiculous. You can make any mistake as a smurf and still win because you're just smurfing. That got to me. The fact that he said we're not having anything free and then go around and say, well, we can get this for free, pretty much, that made no sense to me. The fact that we said, well, I don't want to do Dragon and then go up top, do nothing, and then come back not spending any gold, doing Dragon, doing it one level ahead, it's still like, bro, no. Okay, anyway, as I said, I don't do these to flame the company. I don't do these to make fun of anybody. I do this to just try to separate fact from fiction in this particular video. So maybe the other videos are great, but this one right here, I'm giving it an F. It just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't connect any dots. It's just a lot of stuff that will get you to click it and will get you to pretty much rile your brain about why I'm not winning. Why does this make no sense to me? And it's just all about why it's a good title. I'm spouting a lot of stuff you can't really make sense of. Thank you for watching. Next video coming out soon. You know what I mean? Whenever you're trying to learn something, it's very easy to manipulate your own brain into thinking that everything is knowledge. If I'm like, okay, well, I got Challenger, and you want to make sure that when you're warding, you want to make sure that you're not warding in the pixel brush, but you want to ward just outside of it because it gives you more vision going sideways. You'll be like, oh, really? And then you'll do it. It's that easy, and that's a lot of what these videos are trying to do. It's like, just first of all, let me say this is a high-low game, or let me say that I'm smurfing, so I get your attention. And then you got my attention, and I continue to watch, and then, yeah, it's sad. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. This video is long. I'm trying to cut it up if I can. But until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for approaching this like a coach.